Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, context is everything. Media Network founder and CEO John Michael is watching a television show. This TV show is called Twin Peaks, and this is the 21st time that I've ever watched it in my life. So here we're in season 2, episode 1, which would be episode 8 overall. Episode 9 if you're including the pilot. This is a double episode, so this is a part 1 of 2. What I'm doing here is I'm watching the show for the 21st time and I'm noting down all of the details, timestamps that I like. And that's little details that are not spoilers. These are just little things that I think, wow, what a neato thing that happened in the writing, that happened in the background, that happened this, that, and the other. Let's start. Here at 5 minutes and 25 seconds into this episode. 5 minutes and 25 seconds in, Dale Cooper has been shot, and he's laying on the floor, and he's talking to the old man who's in the room providing room service. The old man is not very aware of what's happening, it seems, and Dale Cooper, upon being charged for his warm milk that he ordered, says, "Does this include a gratuity?" Because he cares about the old man who's spending his golden years occupying his time by working as a bellman at a hotel. Does this include a gratuity? Just a great moment there. And then as the old man leaves, the old man starts to clearly think that something's wrong. Why is this man laying on the floor? So he checks back in and he gives him a good thumbs up and a wink. I think this might be the first time Dale Cooper gives a thumbs up. At 9 minutes and 30 seconds, things are getting odd. So if this is your first time watching the show, welcome. If this is your first time watching Context is Everything Media Network, please subscribe. Thank you. What I'm doing here is I'm going to tell you something that happened here. The tall man, this mythical odd figure, has walked into the room in a spectral manner. And he's giving Dale Cooper some clues, and at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, he gives a few clues, one of which is, there is a man in a smiling bag. Man in a smiling bag comes from something that David Lynch, one of the creators of this show, what he saw in a job. He worked at something like a mortuary or something, and he would think those body bags would be washed after they had a body in them. And they would be hung, and it would look as it's draped open with the zipper undone being washed. It would look like a smiling bag that's dripping, that it just consumed the body that it ate. So man in a smiling bag, something that he experienced in a job experience. Owls are not what they seem. We haven't seen much about owls so far, but we have seen a number of crows. Actually, I guess we have heard an owl once or twice. Donna and James did. At 11 minutes and 11 seconds, we're seeing the reverse order from the previous episode. So this isn't too much, but in the previous episode, it goes from Audrey's dilemma, which is quite a dilemma, to Dale Cooper, who gets shot at the end of the season 1 episode. At the beginning of this season 2 episode, it starts with Dale Cooper, who has been shot, and then it goes to Audrey in One-Eyed Jack. So it's just a reverse of what we saw in the previous episode. This also, we see Blackie, Black Rose, the proprietor of the One-Eyed Jacks. This is her turn. She was always slurring her words in the first season, but she always seemed very well put together at some level. And now she's takes a stark contrast, which was to me quite jarring when I first saw it. I thought, what? And yeah, pretty interesting. The way that they amplify the voice of Ben Horne when he says, "Come on." You'll hear it if you watch it. It's quite impactful. And just to note, the gentleman, Ben Horne's brother, one of my favorite characters just in terms of his energy that is quite wily. Jerry Horne gives this handoff of drugs to Black Rose, and it is really well done at 12 minutes. It's just really artfully done handoff there. At 16 minutes, Dale Cooper's still laying on the floor with a bullet wound, bleeding. And it's apparent that he's coming to terms with death at this time, as he's reflecting over the things that he appreciates from his life and the things that he yearns for. And then he says, all in all, being shot is not that bad. As long as you can keep the fear from your mind. I guess that's pretty much with anything in this world. As long as you can keep the fear from your mind. Which is, I'd say, a lesson. Easier said than done. But generally speaking, a human bit of wisdom. So David Lynch is co-creator of this show with this gentleman, Mark Frost. Mark Frost at 20 minutes and 10 seconds is in the show. This is the only time that you'll see him. But he's a reporter on the news, and this is one of the creators and writers on the show. At 23 minutes on the nose, you have one of the true iconic moments of Twin Peaks. So having watched this episode, you can now realize what an odd thing you've seen. Leland Palmer coming into the scene, singing Mares Eat Oats and Does Eat Oats and Little Lambs Eat Ivy. And I will admit, this song has been stuck in my head many times after watching this show so many times. But very odd, very strange, and the music behind it, the non-diegetic music that is behind it, definitely makes it very eerie. And then Maddie's vision of the rug turning stained also adds an element of that this doesn't seem good. It's funny to say it back to back, but it is basically the same scene. 24 minutes and 45 seconds, truly one of the iconic scenes from Twin Peaks. Had a bit of virality in the past year, in maybe the calendar year 2023, when, just like TikToks and stuff could fit this, and it was just saying, what a strange thing, and it is strange. Leland Palmer comes into the Horns office in the Great Northern singing Mares Eat Oats and Does Eat Oats, and Ben and Jerry Horn are dancing to his music. And it's excellent. And he's back. And he's back and ready. And he's pretty convincing about it because he's changed his tone a little bit, Now, at 27 minutes and 27 seconds, we're at Leo Johnson's abode. Dale Cooper heard in his visitation by the Giant check into Leo Johnson. He's checking into Leo Johnson. But that's not what the point is. The point is, in this scene, Albert Rosenfield, in his return to the show, he pulls his glasses 3 times, twice in the background and one when the camera's focused on him. And, that's that. Leo Johnson also in the previous season said, Leo needs a new pair of boots, talking about how he needs money. Hiding drugs in a boot, as you see Dale Cooper and Harry Truman pulling out right now, gives me the inclination that maybe new pair of boots is slang for drugs. Like that's how he would ask for it so that people couldn't track him. I don't know. Daddy needs a new pair of boots, meaning he needs to get a new shipment of drugs. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. Also, Dale Cooper just gave a thumbs up to Andy. I just noticed that just now. So my theory is Dale Cooper gets the thumbs up from the Giant, who gives him a thumbs up, the old man. 28 minutes and 55 seconds. Donna wants to change. She's showing a new side. Both her and Maddie are affected by the evening's occurrences where they caused Dr. Jacoby to have a heart attack when they tricked him into thinking that Laura Palmer was there. Can I have Laura's glasses? here are the glasses that you asked for. Here are Laura's glasses that you asked for. Donna wants to step into a little bit of a different world, as you can see in this scene. She's a little bit less innocent than she was in the previous season because of events that are transpiring. And I suppose it's just, further realization of the dread of the situation that she at first was so blinded by love. So she was able to cope with better. But I don't know, I'm guessing. Another thing happens here. One of the lines that I enjoy that Donna says is, if you think that way, maybe Dr. Jacoby had the heart attack because of what we did. And that's what Maddie says. And Donna says, if you think that way, you're going to go crazy. What if you wash your hair, the sun won't come up. And I think that's just a funny line. And then as they leave, Donna says, you get the picture? And Maddie says, loud and clear, which is a mixed metaphor and subtly humorous. The reason why it's subtly humorous is because loud and clear would insinuate that something was audible. Get the picture is a visual mixing metaphor. Albert Rosenfield, at 35 minutes and 5 seconds, insults Andy Brennan, who's just done a good bit of investigation, finding out Leo's locked in a hungry horse on a certain day, and they can draw a connection between this and the connected murder of what's-her-name, which kind of acquits Leo from that situation. He was not available. He wasn't there. After Andy gives good advice, good help, good investigation, Albert Rosenfield insults him again, as he did in the previous season. Now, here, Dale Cooper gives his second nonverbal chin-up gesture to Andy, which he did in the first season at the gun range. Nonverbal. All it is a thing. Doesn't really matter. Here, if you'll recall, Bobby Briggs planted cocaine in the gas tank of James Hurley. When James says, Bobby and Mike probably put that in my gas tank, Harry appears to agree at 37 minutes and 5 seconds. And then you hear the strange phrase come out of James's mouth when he's describing something that Laura said to him. Do you want to play with Bob? Do you want to play with Bob? And it's a very foreboding statement. And as Donna, in her transformed state, at 39 minutes and 25 seconds, you can see Lucy in the police office. Lucy is kind of taken aback by this new energy that Donna is giving off. Not that innocent, polite girl smoking inside, glasses on, and speaking in the rhythm of the song. So you would think, if you're watching this, that there was a song playing on the set, because her rhythm of tone of speech is the rhythm of the song. Her exhalation of the smoke is as an exhalation, a release occurs in the music, and her spacing is consistent with the tone of the song as well. Yep. And finally, for the first half of this first episode of Season 2, which is a great episode, at 43 minutes and 45 seconds, you're just hearing criticisms of the hospital that they're in, talking about the food, talking about the drugs that were prescribed. Is he on something? Only what you prescribed. It couldn't have been the food, could it? Just little details about the commentary, I guess, about the hospitals in the small town, All right. That's it. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you enjoy Twin Peaks as you're watching it. And if this is your first time watching the show, please subscribe to Context is Everything Media Network too. John Michael Monroy at Context is Everything Media Network 2 saying God bless and have a lovely day.